What's up, guys? We are going into Moon of Unknown Origin for a rank 1 clear. It is Beast Stone, weak to primarily fire, and then lightning and dark. We're going with the dark team. If you're not familiar with the boss's mechanics, it does a preemptive all stat break on the party, does uncoverable magic every turn, and progressively more and more AoE physical attacks with accuracy, and then some single target dark and a mix of fire and dark physical, I believe. Maybe someone's magic. But we're geared for evasion and immunity on our provoker. Let's see. So we're not using a physical cover tank to deal with the AoE physical. We are going to deal with that with Mirage and Imbues from Melissa. So we have Ibara here. She's pretty important for this clear. She's got the leader skill, and she gives us 2 stacks of Mirage. So we only need 1 stack on the first turn, 2 stacks on the second and third turn. And then beyond that, you need at least 3 stacks of Mirage. The boss resets its cycle at the threshold, though, so that counter resets after the threshold. We're going for a turn 5 burst and then a turn 10 clear. So go through gearing here real quick. So Ibara base form, just a lot of morale fill, gear, preemptive LP fill with the brush and Call of the Wild. And thinking about that, brush and Call of the Wild aren't absolutely necessary. That was before I kind of fine-tuned this rotation, but you can leave them or not. She does need 12 LB fill per turn, though, or well, not 12, 11 apparently is sufficient. So she's got just the Cool Smile card. Just a high magic card would probably work. On our main burst, we're doing around 3 billion or so. So yeah, the second burst, I got 2.5. That could have been better. I think I've optimized the rotation, but so yeah, I mean, if you don't have it, put a high magic card on her and try it, see how it works out. But anyway, shift form, just, best in slot gear for her, I believe. So she's max beast, max stone, max LB. Yeah, so there's that. Olivera, base form, built for damage. It's kind of hard to gear for Stone Killer, but he's a 275 beast, 275 stone. Hard to gear for both of those races. Chain cap up. His intrinsic. So yeah, there's all his gear. And then Ayaka's vision card for storing magic. If you don't have that vision card, just put a high magic card on him. Maybe one with killers. Maybe you can cap him out and then use Dark Rain's TMR in the shift form. But forget who's. It's Poppy's. But Roca, actually, surprisingly, is kind of important for this clear between her LB damage buff on her SLB and then the stone killer she gives at EX3. It's a 160 stone killer, and then her cooldown reduction on Melissa, she helped out quite a bit. Plus, she has perfect dispel, some LB fill. She's surprisingly useful. But here is Olivera's base gear anyway. But yeah, I had enough Rocas just sitting around to EX3 her. I had never done anything with them. They were just all sitting in my inventory. So I kind of went ham on getting some of her STMRs before I even realized I needed them for this fight on some of the units. So kind of worked out. But anyway, shift form on Olivera, just morale fill type stuff, some bulk. Yeah, the magic damage doesn't hit too hard, but you probably should slot in some spirit where you can. on people. Yerba's Boon, just for the spirit, not for guts. Yeah, so there's all that. Fravia, here for some perfect dispelling, chainbot, sword and peril for Golbaz. That's pretty much it. She's on Anima with Dark Ra and Dark Ga learned, just to support chain. Pure magic with Olivera. Another thing I didn't mention, the boss puts up 10 stack of Mirage on every even turn, starting on turn 2. So like turn 3, you have to deal with that. But Irenaeus Ring to quadcast. So yeah, there's that. So she's at 200 beast, 265 stone. And then shift form, just morale fill stuff, some spirit. And you may be wondering why I have the Clash of Wills chest piece on her. I didn't have anyone else to put it on, honestly. So if you do swap Golbez with another damage dealer, I'd prioritize them for that chest piece. But anyway, so yeah, some spirit, some morale fill stuff. So there we go. And then some killers from the card. Roca, just some spirit, morale fill. Her and STMR, some bulk. Gave her guts just in case. She doesn't need Dark Ga equipped. Initially, she was going to be the chain bot with Olivera, but that plan changed. So we'll give her some spirit instead. So everybody survives pretty well. And then just a morale fill card, dual wielding. Sylvie's card with dual wield. Golbez, yeah, tried to build him for damage. He's going to be doing Meteor. Like I said, you can replace him. There's enough Dark Imperils on this party that you could put in, you know, Sephiroth probably, or Dark Rain. But he's a 275 beast, 275 stone, 6,300 MP. He's got Die Sword for the killers that it gives. Chain cap up, so there's all that. And I'd prioritize Olivera over Golbez, and the reason I say that is because of his counter skill. There's a good chance that Golbez may not have, well, there's a 50% chance that he might not have any sword magic on his burst turns, just because of his, you know, innate counter to attacks of any kind, well, physical or magic. So he's not the biggest burster on this turn. He's just here more for his 150 Dark Imperil, which, like I said, if you can get, you know, bigger damage dealer out of, you know, Sephiroth or Dark Rain with a 150 amp, that might be better than Golbez, just with a 135 Imperil instead of his 150. But we're just rolling with this. So anyway, there's his setup. Dark Rain's TMR for storing magic. And the Demoness card. And Melissa, just built for high spirit, passive provoke, evade. And after, well, at least after you have the modifiers on, at least 0% or better dark resist. And 100, actually, I think after the mods are turned on, she really only needs 70 fire resist, because we're buffing fire resist. So probably overkill on the resistances here. But that goes for everybody. Everyone needs at least actually after the mods are on, negative 100 dark resist or better. There are no imperils from the boss, so, and we're getting a 200% dark resist buff, so as long as you're at negative 100 or better, then you should be fine. And Esper callouts, yeah, like I said, Fravia on Anima with Darkra and Dark learned. But yeah, that's about it as far as Espers go. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the video in case anything goes sideways, and then we'll jump into the fight. Let's get into it. Okay. So turn 1, Golbez is going to cast Curse, Jet Black Curse, and then Ruler of the Night twice. Fravia in the shift form is going to On Guard and then just Coop and Flick. Melissa can shared immunity to get rid of the breaks, and for some resistances, Chronic Flow and then Shelga. Roca can just LB for stat buffs. Oliveira is going to fill morale, rehearsal, and then Symphonic Harmony in the shift form. And Ibarra can Wish of Vengeance, one of the prayers, doesn't matter which. This is all for morale fill. And then Malicious Flash for some Mirage stacks. So we'll just send all them. Okay, so nothing too bad there. Okay, now this turn we are going to end Darkga with Ibarra, Bar Darkja, and then Malicious Flash again. Oliveira and Rivera can go to the base form. They will do Instrument Imperil, 200% Stone Killer for himself, and then Perfect Melody twice. Fravia can go to the base form. She can quad Bolting Strike. Golbez can just triple Bolting Strike. Melissa this turn is going to put up Parasol Shield. Beast Killer on just whoever, I guess Ibarra, doesn't really matter. And then Protectica. And Roca can put up Stone Killer. That's her 160 Stone Slayer. And then Bolting Strike twice. So we'll start with Fravia, then Golbez, and then just do Oliveira, Ibarra, and then Roca. This should get the 100 count chain score. Yeah, so chain count missions out of the way. So we Mirage again. Okay, so as you can see on the boss, the kind of shadowy image, it put up Mirage. Now it has an attack and magic buff. We're going to get rid of the Mirage and the attack and magic buff with Fravia. The Mirage only lasts one turn though, so this is more just for damage on this turn, though it's not going to be anything significant anyway. But regardless, we're going to do pressure and then just each of her bolting strike skills. Olivera can go back to the shift form. They will do Gifted with Talent, Bolting Strike twice, and then Rehearsal Session, just to refresh the mitigations from that. Ibara can base form LB. Roca is going to SLB onto Melissa. Let me make sure there are no cooldowns that she's doing. Actually, we're sending Melissa last here anyway. So the boss does, we would need 2 stacks of Mirage on this turn, but Ibara is busy doing her LB to kind of power up and to get the Katana Imperil in place. So we're going to imbue the boss with Dark from Melissa. Now, if we did the Perfect Dispel after we imbued with Melissa, that would get rid of the Dispel on the boss, and we'd, eat it. So we do have to send Melissa last after Fravia does her Perfect Dispel. So regardless, Roca's going to SLB on Melissa. That's a 2-turn cooldown reduction. Golbez is going to start storing magic this turn. And again, we're taking magic damage every turn on Golbez, so there's a chance that he's going to, counter. So, like I said, we're going to try it anyway. He may not counter either turn. He might counter, not counter this turn, but counter next turn. We lose our Mirage, our store magic stack anyway, but it doesn't matter. We'll still hit the damage cap. So, yeah, we're waiting on Melissa. So, store magic with Golbez. We're going to send Fravia first, or Fravia and Olivera first, and then Ibara. So in Melissa this turn, after we send Fravia, she is going to do the Dark Amp for the party, the long duration Dark Imbue on the boss, all-consuming darkness, and then she can just refresh Shelga. Golbez this turn can store magic again. Olivera and Rivera are going to store magic from the card. Like I said, if you don't have the card, just use Dark Rain's TMR and store magic that way. Ibara is going to just Malicious Flash for a little bit of LB fill. One of the prayers for some morale fill. And then her, Magnus or Grandis. Is it Magnus or Grandis? Whatever. The Magnus for the Dark Amp and storing magic. Let me see. So Melissa, this turn, we're going to send her before Roca. She is going to Beast Killer onto Golbez. Actually, we need to do Roca first to get Parasol Shield unlocked again. She's going to do cooldown reduction. She's going to quick onto Melissa. Let me see what else. Stone Killer, just to keep that going. It's only a 4-turn duration on each of those Stone Killer cooldowns, so we'll just refresh a Stone Killer of some kind. And then, let's see what else she's doing. Just haste for a little LB fill, I guess. Not that anyone needs it. You want to make sure you don't, use her bolting strike skill though. Then Fravia is going to the base form. She is going to just do all of her damaging skills once and then end with Insistence for a 500 store magic boost. Then Melissa this turn is going to Beast Killer Golbez, Parasol Shield, and Curse Control, just to keep a Dark Imbue with a strong amp going on the party. And we'll do the attack and magic buff for a little morale fill. Okay, so Melissa this turn is going to do Seconds of Support to Oliveira, Beast Killer on Oliveira, and just Kirega. Let's activate our defense and attack buffs. So we are going to take some physical hits this turn, but I think the threshold physical AoE attacks must be a bit weaker than its normal AoE attacks. It's extremely survivable, especially with this barrier in place. So Ibara is going to shift and do her shifted LB. Oliveira is going to go to the base form and do his base form LB. Fravia is going to quad Chaos Wave Awakened to chain with Oliveira, and then Golbez is going to Meteor. Roca this turn is going to go Boomer for the perfect dispel. Do a, let's see, cooldown reduction to Melissa. And then what else was I doing with her this turn? Yeah, just pretty much whatever else. Slow, I guess. So we want to send Roca first to get rid of that 10 stack of Mirage. So this Mirage is dispellable. The Mirage it's getting next turn is not, though. Just keep that in mind. That's why we have Fravia on an Esper with Chaos Wave Awakened chains. So we're going to send Golbez, wait a few seconds, send the chainers, let the chain build, and then send Ibara. Okay, so 3 billion. So yeah, we handled that physical attack just fine there. But now the boss does have that Mirage, so to deal with that, we are going to just use magic attacks. So Ibara this turn is going to the base form. She is going to Bar Darkja twice to fill LB on Oliveira. And then Malicious Flash for the Mirage. So like I said, the cycle starts over. So we're back to a rotation of just needing 1 stack of Mirage this turn, 2 stacks the next 2 turns, then 3 stacks beyond that. Or imbuing the boss and being resistant to its imbue. So we'll send Ibara. Oliveira is going to do his LB again. Fravia is just going to, from Irane's Ring into Esper, quad Darkja to chain. Let's double check, make sure I have an LB buff. So, yeah. So Melissa this turn is going to refresh our Shellgun Protectga. And then refresh shared immunity. So our Beast Killer buff is still active on Oliveira. So we're going to SLB Roca onto Melissa. And that gives us a 300% LB buff. Activate that. Golbez is going to just curse this turn. There's no need to even try to hit with him. Although he does have some Chaos Wave Awakened skills, doesn't he? Are these even worth trying to use? No. No. Although I don't think he has modifiers in his kit for those. Yeah, we'll just Jet Blight Curse with Golbez to refresh the Dark Imperil for later in the fight. So we'll go ahead and send them. Hopefully do a little bit of damage at least, just to kind of chip the boss down. Unlike past bosses, it doesn't put up a defensive buff after the threshold, so you can just keep chaining away. Or bursting away, however you want to put it. Okay, so Oliveira this turn is going to refresh the Instrument Imperil, his Stone Killer, and then Perfect Melody twice in the base form still. The boss lost its Mirage stacks, so we can use our physical damage dealers. We'll just triple Bolting Strike with Ibara, we'll SLB Golbez. Roca can refresh Stone Killer on everyone. No, not that. Stone Killer. Cooldown reduction to Melissa. And just Bolting Strike. Did the boss put up an attack buff? Nah. Doesn't hurt to do it. She can just chip into the chain a little bit. And Melissa, let's see if she has anything she needs to do before we do a cooldown reduction on her. Curse Control, just to refresh a Dark Imbue, Parasol Shield, and then Curaga. Then Fravia this turn can quad Bolting Strike in the base form. So we will just do our attack and magic buff. Might as well do the defense and spirit. So we'll start with Fravia and or start with Roca and then Fry and then just send everyone else. May want to try to perfect chain or spark chain Golbez and Ibara. Okay. So got another attack buff. We can perfect dispel that away, and just for a decent sized break from Fravia, and then just flick and coop. Oliveira can, let's see what he's doing. Go back to the shift form. He can Gifted with Talent, Bolting Strike twice, and then Rehearsal Session just to refresh the mitigations on that. Ibara can do just one of her cooldowns, doesn't matter which. as long as it's not the lightning imbue. And then Malicious Flash twice. Melissa this turn, and again, we're going to send Melissa last this turn, but she can, what is she doing? Let's see, do the Dark Imbue for a turn 10 burst, or the Dark Amp for 10 turn 10 burst, Beast Killer on whoever, and then guess Curaga again. Then we'll wait to send her. Golbez can start storing magic. And Roca, what are we doing? She is going to do another cooldown reduction to Melissa. And then just, I guess, haste a couple times. Let me see, what are we doing here? Do Dark Amp, Beast Killer, and Curaga. So yeah, we're not using any of Melissa's cooldowns. So you can send Roca whenever, but we will just Spark Chain the front row and then, send the 2 back row. Did I activate the attack and magic buff? Not that anyone's going to be doing really any damage this turn. Oh, that's right. We didn't imbue the loss that turn. You could have sent Melissa first that turn. Okay, sorry, I needed to change my turn chart there. Okay, Golbez is going to store magic again. Need to send Ibara first this turn. Roca is going to SLB on Melissa. We'll see if Melissa has anything that needs to... actually, no. It wouldn't matter, I don't think, but we'll just check anyway if Melissa's doing any cooldowns. We're going to Dark Imbue on the boss with Uncontrollable Darkness. Beast Killer on the Golbez. And then Chronic Flow. Is that up? Yeah. Just to help fill Ibara back up for next turn. So SLB Roca on the Melissa. Olivera can store magic. And Frivia in the base form can just quad Chaos Wave Awaken to fill LB on Ibara. We're not worrying about storing magic with Frivia. So we'll do our buffs and then just send Frivia. Okay, now for our second burst, go ahead and activate the attack buff. Golbez can Meteor. Frivia can quad Chaos Wave Awaken. Olivera can LB in the base form. Roca can Perfect Dispel the Mirage stacks from the boss and then fill LB a couple times. And in case Ibara wasn't full, you could use Melissa to bar Darkja to top her off. Then we will Beast Killer onto Olivera, and then Seconds of Support onto Olivera again. Then Ibara can do her shifted LB. So same thing, we're gonna send Golbez, wait a couple seconds, send the chainers, and then cap with Ibara. And this should finish off the boss. So there you go. Not quite a second, damage cap, but still. Not too shabby for that janky team. So let's see who did what. Yeah, I mean, it's not too surprising. I mean, Oliveira got a lot of love there on the, he had 3 bursts, and he got more love from Melissa. And Ibara didn't have a, magic boost on that second burst. But anyway, there it is. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. I thought this was kind of an interesting clear, using Roca. I don't think I've ever actually used her in a rotation before, and came out surprisingly helpful. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.